An invitation to eternal alignment. Most of us claim to have deep values, but our daily actions often tell a different story. If your life feels out of sync with your beliefs, you are likely missing the bridge between faith and reality. Today, we're using the teachings of James to turn abstract principles into tangible integrity. Imagine, if you will, a master architect stepping into a crumbling cathedral. He does not simply admire the stained glass. He inspects the foundation, the mortar, and the weight-bearing pillars. This is the invitation of the divine path. It is not a call to sit in silent contemplation of distant ideals, but a summons to a structural renovation of the self. We are transitioning from the mundane noise of a world that talks too much and does too little into a space of eternal alignment. Here, your word becomes your bond, your actions become your testimony, and your life reflects the heavenly order. Chapter 1. The Ancient Root of Steadfastness. The journey of integrity begins not in the sunshine of easy days, but in the crucible of pressure. The Apostle James, a pillar of the early assembly, understood that character is forged in the heat of trial. He introduces us to a sacred pattern that defies human logic, the idea that struggle is the very machinery of growth. When we face the modern moral challenges of 2026, the pressure to compromise for profit, or the temptation to hide our light for social safety, we must return to this root. James writes, "My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into divers temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing." This is the foundation. Integrity is the ability to remain entire or unbroken when the world attempts to fracture your spirit. It is the refusal to be double-minded, choosing instead to stand anchored in the truth of the patriarchs, who knew that a tested faith is the only faith that can be trusted. Chapter 2. The Mirror of Truth and Action. Integrity demands a bridge. In our current era, it is easy to curate a digital persona that looks virtuous while the private life remains in disarray. This disconnect is the enemy of the divine path. James challenges us to look into the perfect law of liberty as if looking into a mirror. He warns us that hearing the truth without doing the truth is a form of self-deception that erodes the soul's architecture. To bridge the gap between 2026 and eternity, we must adopt the sacred pattern of active righteousness. The Scripture says, "But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves." And further, he challenges the very core of our profession. Yea, a man may say, "Thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show me my faith by my works." Integrity is belief in motion. It is the outward conduct that proves the inward conviction, ensuring that our lives are not just a collection of heard sermons, but a living manifestation of the heavenly order. Chapter 3. The Rudder of the Soul. Perhaps the greatest challenge to modern integrity is the small muscle between our teeth. In an age of instant digital communication and constant outrage, the tongue has become a weapon of mass destruction. James uses the imagery of a small rudder that steers a massive ship to describe our speech. If we cannot master our words, we cannot claim to walk the divine path. Reactive speech, gossip, and the venom of online vitriol are signs of a life out of balance. To regain clarity, we must practice the art of silence as a tool for emotional control. James instructs us, "Behold also the ships, which though they be so great and are driven of fierce winds, yet are they turned about with a very small helm, whithersoever the governor listeth." Even so the tongue is a little member, and boasteth great things. Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth. Mastering the tongue is the ultimate structural renovation. When we choose our words with the precision of a king, we prevent the fires of chaos from burning down the reputation and peace we have worked so hard to build. Chapter 4. The Order of Pure Wisdom. Integrity is not just about avoiding the bad. It is about being filled with the right kind of wisdom. There is a wisdom of this world, one that is earthly, sensual, and full of bitter envying, and then there is the heavenly order. In 2026, we are bombarded with wisdom that promotes self-interest at the expense of others. But the divine path offers a different blueprint. This wisdom is first pure, then peaceable, and easy to be entreated. It does not seek to win an argument. It seeks to reflect the character of the Creator. James describes this sacred pattern beautifully. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. When your life is ordered by this wisdom, your integrity becomes unshakable, because it is not based on shifting human opinions, but on the unchanging nature of divine truth. You become a person of mercy and fruitfulness, standing as a beacon of clarity in a confused world. Chapter 5. The Renovation of the Heart. The final phase of building integrity is the intentional resistance of the noise that surrounds us. To live a well-ordered life, we must submit to the heavenly order and actively turn away from the chaotic impulses of the world. This is the structural renovation of the heart. It requires a daily decision to draw near to the light, so that the darkness has no place to hide. Integrity is not a passive state. It is a vigilant defense of the soul. James provides the tactical map for this victory. Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw nigh to God, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. By purifying the heart and refusing to be double-minded, we find the steadfastness required to navigate 2026 with honor. We move from being victims of our environment to being masters of our conduct, walking with a spiritual clarity that the world can neither give nor take away. Conclusion. The revelation of the well-ordered life. We have traveled from the root of steadfastness to the discipline of the tongue, but here is the absolute best point, the revelation that crowns the journey. Integrity is not a burden you carry. It is the force that carries you. When you bridge the gap between belief and action, you are no longer fighting an internal war. The aha moment comes when you realize that a well-ordered life is the only life that is truly free. You do not maintain integrity to satisfy a rule. You maintain it because it provides the clarity of sight necessary to see the divine path clearly. When your tongue is a rudder for good, and your works are the fruit of your faith, the friction of life disappears. You find yourself standing on a foundation that cannot be moved by economic shifts, digital outrage, or personal trials. You become a living monument to the heavenly order, proving that ancient wisdom is the only compass that truly works in the modern world. Thank you for joining us on this journey of structural renovation. If these reflections on the book of James have brought clarity to your path today, I invite you to become a permanent part of our community. Please like this video and subscribe to Timeless Audio Reads so you never miss a step on the divine path. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Which verse from the book of James resonates most with the challenges you are facing in 2026? Share a reflection or a specific scripture that helps you stay steadfast. Let us grow together, building a community anchored in integrity and ancient truth. Until next time, stay well-ordered and walk in peace.